What's up, guys? Just here by my channel. Tonight, being an interview from Aew Dynamite and stuff. So let's get to it then. This will be the last time we're gonna do it late, kinda. So yeah. Anyways, let's get to it then with the little segment and stuff. All right, the theme music for the FTR hits kind of so winner stops and gets in that family back down so he continues for a few seconds and stuff and. Yeah, finally up to ourselves score circle, but when Howard tries to begin speaking to officially start the in-ring promo segment, we quickly come to realize that his microphone isn't working. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have to plug my charger. So anyways, sorry about that. Um, is officially started promo weekly. Okay, when his microphone wasn't working, we spent a few seconds waiting for them to get a microphone that works. Harwood then begins to talk and mentions miscarriage of justice at the AW X New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door London pay-per-view. Fans loudly chant "Shut the fuck up" as he continues to talk. They bring in referee Paul Turner, demand he admit he was wrong and reverses his decision from Sunday. He tells him he also wants him to inform his family, his wife, and his children at home that he is bad at his job and that he messed up. He then wants him to reverse his decision from Forbidden Door and officially announce Terror as the new AW World Tag Team Champions. Turner says his decision stands because Big Stoke loses cool. He gets on the mic and gets in Turner's face, and now he tries to imitate him. Turner pushes Stoke. Wheeler pushes the hell out Turner as they continue to rough up the defenseless ring official. The kind sounds of one day remains, and some Alcon makes his way out with the crowd loudly singing his theme song. The commentators question where Christian Cage is. Just as they do, we see Cage flying into the camera, counter shot, and begin beat down FTR. Copeland quickly joins him, and brawl spills into the crowd and back into the ring. As Tunnel officially finally fight separate the two teams, Copeland gets on the microphone. He tells Harwood he understands he has a father as well. He tells Wheeler he has a father as well, and that bitch is dead. Officials hold FTR back as they try and storm the ring. Copeland takes the microphone after saying something that he has to be censored of the broadcast. He makes an announcement. He confirms it will be the reunited duo of Christian Copeland taking on FTR. He says it's time that I take my proud of flesh in his hometown of Toronto at AEW All Out on September 20th. All right. So then we're from Darby Allin talking about oh yeah, it's a video package about Darby Allin sending a message to John Moxley that he wants a match at AEW All Out. So first match coming up is John Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. Alright, so coming alright, get the bell and stuff. We hear the loud chants, "Fuck you, Yuta," as Moxley and Garcia lock out with Daniel Garcia getting an upper hand on the former world champion. Garcia gets on his feet and hits the ropes, but is taken down by Mox with a shoulder tackle. John brings Garcia to the corner for some mountain punches. Garcia responds with a dragon screw, catching Mox on the ropes. John drops onto the outside as Garcia falls, sending him up against the barricade before Mox fights back, dropping him to the floor before sliding into the ring. The ref begins the count as Yuta and Shafir are practically stalking Garcia on the outside. Danny Magic, Matt Menard comes out to help even up the numbers. They back off as Garcia gets back into the ring, eventually turning things around on Mox and forcing him to take a breather on the outside. On that note, we should gears into the match. Coach Bray's action continues. When the show returns, we see Mox regain control, sending Garcia into the corner before clawing at his back. He keeps on the attack until Garcia strikes back with a flurry of punches before biting the leg of Mox and taking him down hard with a suplex. Both men get to their feet. Then Mox hits Daniel with a boot, sending him to the ropes. But Garcia hits Nigel style lariat on the former world champion for a 2 count. Mox catches Garcia with a cutter, but struggles to capitalize. This allows Garcia to catch him with a single leg crab. Mox crawls towards the ropes, grabbing the bottom rope to force a break. Mox lures Garcia to the outside before landing a DT onto the ring steps, and Garcia drops to the floor as Mox gets back in the ring. Danny Magic checks on Garcia, trying to urge him back into the match as Garcia slowly stirs while the count goes on. We reach the count of 9 as Garcia manages to leap into the ring. Mox goes for a stomp, but Garcia dodges it, only for Mox to catch him with a cross arm breaker. Before Garcia counters into a dragon tamer, Mox struggles to break free. Garcia leans back, and this gives Mox an opening as he goes for a chokehold on Garcia, but Dan breaks free for a clutch to get a near fall in exchange for a pin attempt. Culminates with Mox getting the 1, 2, 3 from the win. We quickly learn, however, but that things are far from over. So winner is Jon Moxley. Alright, so when the match wraps up, Wheeler Yuta gets in the ring. It gets on the mic. He tells Darby Allin that Mox doesn't want to waste his breath answering him. So Yuta delivers the message that the answer is no. He leaves the ring as we see Mox and Garcia having a verbal spat on the outside. From there, the Dead Riders lead through the crowd. Garcia makes his way up the ramp, telling the camera to get out of his way. On that note, and we go to another commercial break. When the show returns, we see Yuta still in the ring with a microphone in hand. Yuta says he still has plenty left to say. He talks about living in the city and how he used to wrestle and break his bones in the city. And for what? For the chance they keep giving him. He talks about how the fans have done nothing. The fans did nothing for him. They have done nothing for the likes of Will Ospreay, Chuck Taylor, and Bryan Danielson. As he continues to rant, he is caught up by the new theme music for Hook. We see the Hook's back symbol flash in the rafters. With that said, out comes the returning cold-hearted handsome devil. The former FTW champion heads to the ring to a monster reaction from the Philly crowd. Hook and Yuta brawl in the ring until Hook locks him in his red rum finisher until he passes out. Then we have a video package with MJF talking about his stipulation change for his Casino Gauntlet contract, signing for that world champion, that AEW World Championship belt and stuff. Then he said he'll do what he needs to do himself. So, anyways, next match coming up: Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Hardy Cameron and Chris Stanlander. Alright, come back and stuff. Alright, so anyways, the bell sounds. Stanlander and Ford kick things off for the respective teams. The two trade back and forth strikes with Chris managing to get the upper hand before tagging and Cameron a bit of double teaming, followed by a tag, and Chris gets a 2 count. She lands a delayed vertical suplex on Penelope, who crawls over for a tag to Bayne. We get a brief stare down between Megan and Chris, but Harley tags in as she wants to make the Megasus feel the wrath. Megan shoves her away, but gets sent into the corner. Cameron manages to get a few stomps in on Bayne, and then sends her to the opposite side, only to end up getting caught in a waistlock, but by Bayne, who drags her to the corner before tagging in. Hardy stays on the attack until Megan manages to sneak a shot. The shot kept Cameron down long enough for Penelope to fight back. On that note, we go to another commercial match. Actually continues. When the show returns, we see Harley is kept from a tag again, this time by Ford, before Cameron manages to break away. Stupid scrolling thing. God damn it, man. Alright, sorry guys. She finally makes the much needed tag to Stanlander, who runs down Ford and Bayne after hitting the ring with a ton of energy and crowd momentum behind her. She then hits a fisherman driver for a near fall. Ford gets an assist from Bayne off a tag. Ford lands a cutter before Bayne hits a bait lariat for the 2 count. Megan and Penelope set up Harley and Chris for a double moonsault, but to no avail. Stanlander hoists Bayne up, and Hardy gives the assist for Statlander, sending Megan down hard for a cover, but Penelope breaks it up. Things break down from there until all 4 women are down. Eventually, Ford and Cameron leave the ring as Chris and Megan exchange strikes. Ford gets the tag, but is worn down by Statlander, who sets up what appears to be a crucifix armbar, and Penelope has no choice but to tap out after getting trapped on the mat. Bayne looks up to go after Statlander post-match, but Willow makes her way out to put the kibosh on this as she ends up staring down her former friend and Statlander. On that note, the commentators talk us into a post-match commercial break, and then it's the winners are Hardy Cameron and Chris Statlander. Then we have a Mercedes Moné Championship celebration. When we return, we see celebration with 8 belts and stuff, and then after routine, the corner has 9 balloons, 9 belts, Monet and stuff. Says Mercedes tells Philly to say hello to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. nine belts Monet. Renee Paquette talks about the busy and successful week the champ had, culminating and retaining the T-Base Championship at Forbidden Door. Monet hypes herself up as the greatest of all time. She then invokes the name of Ultimo Dragon and looking to smash his record of this holding 10 belts at once. Renee talks about Alex Windsor simply tapping Mercedes out, something the champ denies as she was not actually tapping. Monet is tired of hearing about Alex Windsor saying if she wants to come after, she will send her to a hospital bed next to her husband. With that, she calls for the celebration to commence as she dances dream music. That's all the championship and all that stuff. Blah blah. Anyways, then Mark Briscoe sends a message to MGF that he wants to kick his ass and stuff. So yeah, and oh yeah, he had a new baby member. There was a new newborn baby. His newborn baby came and stuff. So yeah, that was cool. So yeah, next match is All Star 8-Man Tag: Brodito, Jet Speed, versus Don Cat's family. Return returns to way out. I'll try and skip the entrance part. So there's a boy cause melee. Alright, anyways, here we go. The bell sounds and off we go, kicking things off for respective teams. Our ROH World Champion Bandido and the Alpha Kenoshi Takesha. Before Hechicero tags in to catch excuse me, the Masked Man by surprise ahead of their match coming up at ROH Death Before Dishonor 2025. Hechicero sends Bandido to the corner for a flurry of punches before dragging him to the family corner for a tag to Takesha. After a few shots, we see Josh tag in before Brody gets a tag of his own to take down the walking weapon and the Alpha. From there, a tag is made to Knight, and he and Bailey go after Alexander after a tag to Bailey. Alexander reaches out for a tag with Okada and Takesha making the tag. At the same time, they stare each other down for a moment, but that turns out to be a ruse as they look to clear the ring. Instead, Brody does one better and sends him to the outside. He launches Bandito up and over the rope at the same time as Jet Speed and all three men land on the top of the Don Callis family on the outside. On that note, the show shifts gears into mid-match commercial brands. The action continues and stuff. So yeah, when the show returns, we see the family has Kevin Knight in the corner before he manages to get the upper hand on the Hechicero, and Alexander Brody comes in for some offense, followed by Bailey, who takes a powerbomb by Takesha before Kevin comes in, only to be taken down. Bandido slides in, going for a vertical suplex on Takesha before Hechicero makes the same tags made to Bailey and Takesha now, and two go at it before Bailey blocks a sunset flip for a back flip knee drop on the Alpha. A pin attempt by Speedball gets broken up. The Rainmaker offers assist before Kenoshi gets a cover for a near fall, and it seems there is some animosity between Okada and Takesha as it comes to a showing contest from Okada before Brody pulls Takesha out of the ring. We then see Chaos and Swoop, whatever you want to call it, Sway, leading to Bailey dodging a Rainmaker to send Okada out of the ring. He goes up top, but Alexander dodges the shooting star knee drop, rolling him as the family blocks an attempt to break up the pin and secures a victory for their team. So winners are the Don Callis family. And then we go to commercial break after that. Then we have a segment with Heyman and Page. So these Page in the ring. His first order of business, thanking Will Ospreay for everything he's done and hoping that Ospreay feels better. He tries not to make a habit of speaking for others, but he will make an exception to say we will hope Ospreay comes back soon, and when he does, he hopes Ospreay will challenge Page for the world title. Page turns his attention to MJF. He says MJF tried everything he could to take the title away from him at Forbidden Door, and he failed. He addressed the fact MJF has to give 7 days notice, promising that he will beat MJF down before the ink dries on the contract. Page is interrupted by Don Callis, the Don Callis family. By Don Callis, Callis says the only reason Page ever got the title the first time was because a weakling in his family, referring to Kenny Omega, was the one defending it against him. He says he wants the title back in the Don Callis family, and there's a whole locker room ready to challenge. He said he knows because he signed half of them. He calls out for his family to come to ringside surrounding the champ on the outside. Page gets but Paige gets the drop on one of them to fight back. They bring Heyman into the ring, but out comes Jesse for assist. Kyle's hands a steel baton to get the beat down on Bailey and the rest, but Kenny Omega's music hits to a big pop. He comes running down, blowing past Cesaro on his way to the ring. Archer goes for a chokeslam, but gets hit with the baton before Omega takes to a knee. Bailey helps clear the ring as we get a combo buckshot Lyra and V Trigger sending Archer to the mat. He rolls out of the ring as former champions Paige and Omega embrace, joined by Jesse as the Doghouse family regroups on the outside. Alright, so next match coming up is AEW Trios Championship. The Obs, who are champions, versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Now it's time for our next match of the evening. The Love Championship schedule for tonight's team gonna be the way out, blah blah. Alright, anyways, the bell sounds for sure. This one key things for sprint teams are Hobbs and Ricochet. Hobbs lays into Ricochet early on, and we get blind tag by Bishop. Khan goes on the attack until Hobbs catches him with a shoulder tackle tag made to Shibata, who lands a flurry of strikes. Khan fights back, leading to exchange of draws between both men. Shibata takes control to send Bishop to the corner for some more damage, leading to a drop kick and an upper underhook for a 2 count. Shibata hits the ropes, but takes a couple boosts from Khan before Ricochet gets about a big hit by Khan, brings the wrestler to the outside. From there, we see Ricochet and the Gates of Agony get some more offense before the show shifts gears into match coach Rebellion. Trios tale continues when show returns. The Offs fight their way back into lead with Joe getting the submission win. The Hurt kick and Gates of Agony brawl afterwards. So winners are and still AEW Trios champions, the Offs. Alright, main event time. Falls Count Anywhere match. Darby Allin versus Claudio Castagnoli. When show returns here from Claudio Castagnoli, theme music outcomes of Merit Devars. Rise of the evening, a Falls Count match against blah blah. Alright, so as Castagnoli is about to walk through the back to make a custom entrance through the crowd, he is cut off and attacked out nowhere by his opponent. Darby Allin gets off to an early offensive lead as the Falls Count Anywhere match gets off to a hot start. Castagnoli quickly fights back into competitive form before ultimately taking over control of the action. He slams Allin on a bunch of crap nearby and then drags his lifeless body into the entrance area inside the arena. Castagnoli grabs Allin by the legs and begins a giant swing. He releases him and sends him flying with authority into the unforgiving barricade. He goes for a pin right there on the spot, but Allin kicks out to keep this one alive. Allin fights back, re-enters the ring, quickly hits the ropes, sprints and dives through the ropes for a splash onto Castagnoli at ringside. Allin stops to play the crowd as they roar. He then begins his long climb way up. Some production stuff at ringside, a giant pole, and basically he's way up there, and without any hesitation, he jumps up and leaps off backwards, soaring down to Castagnoli and crashing into him with his coffin drop finisher. He goes for the follow-up pin attempt, but only gets 2. The action resumes inside the ring. After that, Castagnoli ends up taking back over on the fence. He always Allin up with an overhead military press and runs across the ring, launching him over the ropes, where he crashes violently onto a desk at ringside. On that note, the show should get into match commercial break. As the action continues, our first match on the inside, blah blah. When the show returns, we see Castagnoli still controlling the action. 2 tables are brought into the ring and are set up in leaning long ways in opposite corners of the ring. Allin starts fire up, and a crowd loudly comes to life in the crowd and the background as well. Allin hops on Castagnoli's back with a choke. Castagnoli throws him. He does charging at him, but Allin moves and Castagnoli puts him through a table in one of the corners. Allin grabs a steel chair and begins blasting Castagnoli with it. He puts Castagnoli's head through the chair and lets out a war cry. Allin heads to the ropes, looking to do to Castagnoli what he and the Dead Riders did to Will Ospreay after the Unsanctioned Lights Out to cage match main event match on Sunday. Castagnoli stops him, however, and Donkey Kongs him into a pile of chairs for a 2 count. He then picks Allin and launches him through the other table, and in the other corner, he quickly falls up with another pin attempt, but once again, he only gets a count of 2 for his troubles. Fans begin rallying behind Allen with a chance as he is slow to recover. Allen starts to fight back, however, and he even connects with the big co-red. He goes for the cover, but Casanova survives. Allen falls by climbing the ropes and hitting a coffin drop. He pops right back up, climbs the ropes a second time, and hits a follow-up coffin drop for the win. So winner is Darby Allin. Alright, then once the match wraps up, a mystery man in the hood and a hood hits the ring and begins attacking Allen. He pulls the hood off to reveal he is none other than a New Japan Pro Wrestling star, Gabe Kidd, one of the members of the Death Riders team in an unsanctioned lights out steel cage match at AEW for whatever. Okay, so anyways, John Mox and the Death Riders make their way out to join in. Instead, Allen manages to flee the ring and hop the barricades. He exits through the crowd. Mox is shown helping Casanova up in the ring. They go after him, but decide against it. That's how the show ends and stuff. So yeah, good show tonight. I enjoyed it, but man, the way Casanova threw Darby Allin on the commentary table and stuff, I was like, holy shit, man, damn, like. Man, Darby Allin's gonna give us a hard time one of these days and stuff, and yeah, shit, motherfucker's crazy, man, fucking crazy as hell. So, anyway, it's a good show earlier tonight. So, anyways, that was this first video. Hope you like it, and not where. So, like, subscribe, hit the button, leave a comment. And guys, don't leave me comment stuff. I care, guys, and that's it. I'll see you guys Friday night for a Friday Night SmackDown. All right, layers.